Welcome to another episode of Backdoor Busted. I'm your host, Rob McCallum, aka Rob McZob on Twitter, and today we're looking at Sonic the Hedgehog Battle Racers over on Kickstarter. Let's take a look. Here we are on Kickstarter, Sonic the Hedgehog Battle Racers, a pre-painted miniature racing board game for 2 to 5 players. Race past badniks and bosses, collecting rings in a sprint to the finish. So this is cool because we're tapping into the Sonic the Hedgehog brand IP, and right away, you know, this is a well-known character and franchise dating back, you know, to the Genesis days. So this should be doing incredibly well, right? So we're going to find out if that is the case. We got 22 days to go, 200 backers. Their goal looks like they were for $50K US, and they've only raised $20,878 so far, so not even halfway there yet. 22 days to go. We'll dig in to see how long this has been live and go from there. Let's take a look at the pitch video from Shinobi7, who's created 2 games so far. This, of course, is a tabletop game, as it said here, and it's based out of LA. Take a look at the pitch video and see what we can learn. Okay, so that's the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog Battle Racers, a tabletop game. Let's go back through this minute-long video and see what we can learn and take away from. So we get some nice animated graphics right away early on, seeing Sonic in familiar CG form as it's been for the last few years. It's introduced here, the game, and then we get the box top. Again, reiterating 2 to 5 players. And then we see a digital layout of the actual board game. So I'm not a huge fan of this because it feels less tangible. This feels just like a computer simulation at this point. And I don't feel like it's a board game. It feels like a video game. And when you have a character who is a video game character and you're trying to do a tabletop version, that is a very fine line when it comes to showcasing the information. I'll say that the graphics do look slick, but right now it feels like I'm playing a tabletop game on a video game console in the same way that you might play Monopoly on PlayStation or Xbox. This feels like I'm going to play Sonic Battle Racers on my PS4 or Xbox One or Nintendo Switch. I do like this modular approach in terms of the game, but then we get more cutaway scenes like this that makes me think, oh, this is a video game, not a tabletop game, even though we're getting some of the game pieces right now. And we're getting more hidden there. We're getting Supersonic as a Kickstarter exclusive. We got everything laid out here, but nothing feels real or as if it's, you know, real photography. And that pretty much does it for the entire video. We get more cutscenes. So, like, no doubt the video is polished. It feels like a real commercial product. It has everything you'd expect from the iconography associated with Sonic the Hedgehog. It has the feel, it has the speed, but it doesn't feel like it's a real board game. It actually feels like a video game. And for that reason, I think they missed the mark slightly. Let's carry on and see what we can learn from the campaign here. So here we are. We have that same shot that we saw in the video, but with a digital background. This time it's on white, and this feels a little bit more like a tabletop experience, but this is all, of course, generated in Photoshop, so it's all digital assets still. Ready, set, Sonic. Burst into action with Sonic the Hedgehog Battle Racer. Select your racer, choose your route, and fight your way to the finish line while avoiding opposing racers and a variety of dangerous obstacles. Control your speed, use your abilities, and activate your special powers to collect as many rings as you can in an amazing race. So that definitely says what's going on. And then we get right into the pledges. For $50 you get that, $100 you get that. And then we go right into stretch goals right away. That's super interesting. Optional buys, so these are add-ons. And it's not really telling me much more. Game overview. So here we go. We're almost at the bottom of the page here. That's hard to tell within the window that I'm screen capturing, but just looking over here at the bottom, I can see where the rest of the window goes to. So Battle Racers is a pre-painted miniature board game. Play as Sonic, one of his friends, a rival or foe, and race through a track full of obstacles and challenges, which we've seen already and read already. Along the way, collect as many rings as possible, destroy badniks at every opportunity, but don't forget to keep an eye on your fellow racers. They could be hot on your heels and ready to strike. Comes with 5 iconic Sonic characters, pre-painted miniature, so we've seen that already. Each racer has a pre-painted miniature racer profile and speed token. So we're really pushing that pre-painted miniature part a lot here. Each profile contains the racer's special unique ability, power, and so on. If racing against 4 opponents is enough for the challenge, try adding a boss to your game. Included in the Super Pledge, characters such as Dr. Eggman can be used as a normal racer or a boss in the game with different abilities. Bosses are not controlled by any player and have a boss profile detailing their special rules and effects combined with their own specific set of boss cards used during each game. What Sonic game could be complete without badniks getting in the way and causing troubles? So we just talked about some of those. Sculpted badniks are a limited bonus to the Kickstarter, will not come in the retail version of the game, so sculpts are not final and subject to change, so that's good to know. That makes this a little bit more interesting in terms of why this is on Kickstarter. Every tracks section presents a new challenges set to be navigated. Each round, every player must choose an agility card, so they're really just kind of detailing the action portion, adjust the race speed, allow them to jump over obstacles, badnik, yada, yada, yada. Game design has been fully completed, tested, and approved. So, okay, shipping will be charged after the campaign through our pledge, based on the actual shipping cost. Pledge any additional awards. This is so we can be fair to all backers, as shipping is rarely one size fits all. So here's our current shipping prices. Africa, 80 to most countries. Canada, 15 to 30 most cities. And it kind of just breaks it down here, which is actually nice to see for once. I like that. These are estimates only. That's also nice. I like they're saying this is a EU-friendly project. Rewards bound for EU will ship from within the EU. No extra custom charges, which is nice. Very cool way to do that. Shinobi 7 is a core team whose members have an average of 15 plus years experience in the hobby games, have worked with top licensed brands of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, DC, My Little Pony, Tokyo Ghoul, and many more. It's a tabletop game company dedicated to producing and publishing high-quality game based on hit culture brands, which explains why they have a Sonic brand. Special thanks, Lazy Square Games. Risks and challenges. There are some vagaries in terms of timing when it comes to anything produced in China, such as production delays, shipping delays, and custom delays. The estimated delivery date is October 2018, but this is only estimate. Also due to logistics for international shipping, backers in different regions of the world may receive their rewards sooner than others. We've done our best to minimize delays. Yep. We can refund you within 14 days of the campaign ends, fees included. After that, we have no policy. We have a policy of no question asked, though that's minus Kickstarter and payments processing fees, which we can't get back from them after 14 days. However, if we've begun packaging your pledge for shipment, no refunds are possible. If a component cannot be delivered at all, we refund that completely, including fees. The project is being funded in US dollars, and any refunds processed will be in US dollars for the exact amount received in US dollars, excluding any applicable fees, depending on the time. So, what do you guys think I'm going to say about this? One, they're very stingy about how this works in terms of refunds, as if they have a history of this problem. They're really spelling it out this time to make sure that there is no concerns going forward. But I also didn't see any reason why this has to be on Kickstarter other than possibly a marketing push, which is, a legit reason, but should not be the only reason that you're on a platform like Kickstarter. There is no mention of why this needs to be here, why it needs people's help to come to fruition. The only appeal in my sense of estimation is that you get some of those extra sculpts and this exclusive supersonic piece, which isn't available anywhere else. So, why is this on Kickstarter is the big question. Let's look at the pledges or the rewards and see where we are with that. $50, you get the Racer Pledge Sonic the Hedgehog box, not including the freebie stretch goals. You get the exclusive Supersonic Racer and the Battle Racers base game. $100, you get the Battle Racers. You get exclusive Supersonic, 10 Buzzer Bomb Badnik miniatures, Crab Meat Badniks, Moto Badniks, Spinner Badniks, and all unlocked freebie stretch goals. Hyper Pledge, $150. You get all the miniature Badniks, the Chaos exclusive Supersonic Racer. You get Metropolis expansion, Vector Large Racer expansion, Metal Sonic Mechanical Madness expansion, Omega Large Racer expansion, Big Large Racer expansion, and all unlocked goals. So $150 US, 60 backers at that. We obviously only have the 4 SKUs, the base game plus some KS exclusives, and I guess it's just the 3, and then like the hyper pledge, as they say, which is like, the souped up version of the Kickstarter edition, which just includes all the expansion sets. Now we have, again, let's remind ourselves, where are we with in terms of this goal here? We are at 20,000. So we're, again, not even halfway to our goal. We're 22 days to go. And our first stretch goal comes at 60,000. And it's a token bag to conveniently store all your draw tokens. You get Blaze as an expansion character at 70, plastic rings, Sticks another character, metal stamp, and Shadow is 110,000. So these are all freebies that they're willing to put in there if the campaign reaches enough here. Let's take a look at the updates. So they launched on February 7th. So this is a brand new campaign. So they're launching with 23 days in total. So in one day, basically, they're at 26,000. So that's pretty good. 26,000 of 62, or as I said, 20,000 of 50,000. So almost being at halfway assures this a really high probability on day one for that to hit its goal. Let's take a look at this output. We're glad to see you here, and we're going to work on providing the best possible experience for you during this campaign. That's great. Made a few big changes on the page itself. Yesterday there was only one pledge level. Now we have 3 awesome pledge levels, so that's interesting to learn. They went from 1 pledge level to 3, 1 at 50, 100, and 150. Yesterday we started with some of the stretch goals being unlocked as optional buys. That idea is discarded. All stretch goals we have planned for this campaign will be freebies. That also means the plastic rings and the Shadow Oil Ocean expansion will be included in free pledges. So they may have gotten some feedback yesterday, so this being day 2, I guess, not day 1. So this total is over 2 days. My apologies there, which is nice. So they probably got some feedback on that already, or they saw where they were, and it wasn't doing that well. So here are the different expansions that you can add. So here's the big, here's the E23 Mega, here's Vector, track sections. So that's the Infinite Metropolis. And, these are really kind of cool, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I like the expansions. I don't know how much it's really going to alter the gameplay, so it's hard to say. And regardless of what I think about the gameplay, this is more about what I feel about the campaign. So we got tons of comments already. There's a gameplay video in the works. We had some technical staff moves, so that would be one question, because we talked about just seeing it, looking at how the game actually plays, because it looks like a video game. A lot of people are just pledging $1 because they want to see how it progresses before they commit. Anything possible that doesn't include any unannounced characters. So I'm just kind of reading through these to see if I can learn anything else. Expansion figures going forward. Stretch goals. Too expensive game with few mini minis. Don't know what to do yet, but value added seems low for me. I'm not saying I disagree. Will the badniks come pre-painted as well, or only the racers and Robotnik? Is the board art final? It's quite plain and boring. Doesn't evoke Sonic, more like a golf course. Haha, he's not wrong. The art isn't that great. Price is pretty high. The gameplay is pretty vague. I don't like unlocking optional purchases. Stretch goal. I'm in until February 27th, and then I'll decide. I'm afraid the money's going to the IP, hence the cost. These are all valid questions, and some of these questions you might not think of when you're on the fence looking at a campaign, so it's always good to go through these and see what other people are thinking before you make a decision to back or not. And again, a lot of people are saying, you got my $1 for now just so I can keep an eye on the campaign and get all the updates, which is why I'm a huge fan of putting that up front. Pledge $1, watch our progress, and decide if you want to become a bigger backer or just say thanks. Big fan of that as a reward. What else do we got here? Gameplay, we haven't seen that yet. Don't see any reviews. Yeah, I mean, where my thoughts on this campaign so far differ. The 118 are from the US. We see a lot of people from Stoke and Trent, UK. I know a few people there myself. Montreal, Canada. Got a few there. Canada represent, of course. I'm from Canada, as I often say. Where this campaign, there's a lot of things lacking. As they said, where's the gameplay video? It just seems like there's no reason for it to be on Kickstarter. It's got the established IP. Is that where the money's going? Who knows? Gonna jump over to KickTrack. Sonic the Hedgehog. See what we can find here. Oh, do you see that? I'm gonna go back one page. It says right here. It's right on the news part here, which is great. So there's an article on it if you wanted to learn more about it there. You can do that. Attack of the Fanboys. So we can go back here and just find the campaign itself. Battle Racers, 42%. Updated 1 minute ago. They're at 21,327. So this is a little dated. So if I refresh this should go up. Yep, it went up. So there we go. Turning towards 511%. So according to this projection here, they should hit it by tomorrow at this rate. Their daily data says that they're getting 10,000 per day. 10,000 day 1, 10,000 day 2. So 10,000 day 3 would obviously make sense. Backers are different. They're getting about 105. They're dropping off a little bit steeper than the pledge amount. So when you see the pledge amounts staying about the same, but the backers have dropped, that's always a good sign. So that's probably in reaction to the different pledge goals or the rewards rather that they've introduced. Instead of just having the one SKU on day 1, they've introduced the 3 that they have now. So you're probably seeing an increase in spending per less people. Comments per day is a lot more comments on day 2, and you can see the latest news down here. So here's some press, which is always nice to see. Projection, not enough data because it's still pretty new. You can see the trend, which is way up here. Again, hard to see. So let's go back over to the Kickstarter campaign. So does this campaign work for me? Well, here's the things I like. It's always nice to believe in a big IP brand like Sonic. The fact that Shinobi 7 has it means that they probably spent money, so they're really committed to it. And as they say in Risks and Challenges, everything, the game is designed and ready to complete, and they just basically got to go into manufacturing. What I don't like is not seeing any gameplay, not seeing any reviews, not seeing any effort to have this in the community ahead of time to stop some possible snafus. Only having one reward option to begin day 1 isn't good. I do like that they kind of pivoted and added more rewards as a result of maybe some feedback, but you can see that the comment section, as we looked at, is just riddled with a lot of people asking questions here. And I wouldn't say that Shinobi 7 is super great about responding. They're kind of picking and choosing when they respond. So there's one here, and then there was a couple up here, but that's not a lot. Let's take a look and see what they've created before. So they canceled this already. So they canceled it like on the 7th, and I think we're recording on the 8th today. Yeah, we're recording on February 8th. So they had launched it, then they canceled it, and then relaunched it. So let's take a look at this canceled one. So they basically just offer the $100 pledge, and that's that, and stretch goals. So there's definitely some inexperience on that. I'm not sure why they would have done it that way, but now this looks like there's 2 campaigns for essentially the same thing. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about Shinobi 7 within Kickstarter. Doesn't say much. Collaborators on this project, Benjamin Yamanda. Let's click on his link and see what we can learn from Benjamin. He's backed 32 projects, including, of course, Sonic. He's a collaborator, and that's good that he's backed that. And a lot of tabletop stuff. So that makes sense that he's collaborating. He probably knows a little thing about that. Let's see if I can find out something about this individual. So here we are. I just did a quick Google search, and it basically says, not sure what to do. I design board games, and I work at Blizzard Entertainment. My 3-year-old daughter literally thinks that I make every game under the sun, from Mario Odyssey to any Kickstarter that arrives at my doorstep. And that was 37 minutes ago. Okay, so he's the game designer, which is why he's a collaborator on that by the looks of it. Cool. I mean, that makes me feel a little bit better that he works at Blizzard, I guess, by the looks of it. As far as the campaign, though, not a huge fan, to be honest. The video, I think, is a huge misstep. The fact that they had to pivot the rewards is another misstep. They don't say why it's on Kickstarter. The rewards are high for the lack of information that's out there. These rewards might be very justified, and $50 for a board game is pretty average, to be honest. But I feel like you're getting so much more for twice as much, but I can't justify it given that I don't know enough about this. I don't see a Let's Play. I don't see any kind of reviews out there. I don't see people talking about it. I certainly don't see any press which would help this. And as much as I love the Sonic the Hedgehog IP, this is a brand and franchise that has had nothing but mediocre entries in many forms of media of the past, decade or so. So that doesn't exactly elevate my success forecasting speciality, if you will. But it is, I think, as in terms of a campaign for us to look at and cross-examine, I think it's really important because a lot of us that when we bring an idea, it's our own intellectual property, something original. And here's an example of someone trying to bring a branded piece of IP that they have the rights to Kickstarter, and they're going to hit their goal as, as we said, it's day 2 of their campaign, and they're doing well. I'm not sure where it's going to end up. I don't like a lot of the campaign, and there's a lot of people that are questioning it. They have a lot of kind of one-off $1 backers, and I can see this campaign turning against them in a big way. So I'm hoping that Shinobi 7 rectifies the gameplay stuff so we can actually see some of the pieces and not just digital assets that kind of show it, and that they address more of the comments, like, you know, the art style of the game piece itself, and basically do a more thorough job of convincing people that this is worth backing on Kickstarter instead of waiting for retail, because right now this just seems like a pre-order that helps them kind of get this to market. And for that reason, I'm going to officially declare this campaign busted. If you have a project that you want me to take a look at, send it over to me at crowdfundingspectacular99@gmail.com, or send it to me on Twitter at robmczob. I would love to kind of, you know, back or bust something that you think is interesting or you're not sure about. And if you need a hand with the campaign that you're ready to unleash on the world, hit me up at those same spot, you know, facebook.com/backedorbustedcrowdfunding, at robmczob on Twitter. I work with a lot of people, and I'd love to see your project really make the Kickstarter or Indiegogo space better and get people really talking about your project and watch it come to life the right way, with no stone unturned, and in the best possible way for success. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time.